Hello, I am Cookie, and since I got access to the beta weekend, I thought I would make a guide based on one of the classes, the archer in this instance. Now, I didn't make it all the way up to level 32, which was the max level at this beta, but I got up to level 24, which I think is enough. So, the archer class is of course a ranged class, but you do more damage the closer you are, which makes sense since arrows tend to be weaker when fired at a long distance. So you should try to stay as close as possible to maximize the damage output, but not so close that you can easily be hit. If you do however find yourself really close to an enemy, don't worry. The archer is excellent at escaping and keeping a distance, using either the default dodge or the breakaway bolt ability. Utilizing your traps, stuns and dodges, you should have no problems kiting. What makes the class hard to play though can be the mix between dodging and fighting, and watching your mana points. Luckily for you though, I will tell you how to manage just fine as an archer in TERA. I will start the guide with the various abilities the archer has up to level 24. The first two are Penetrating Arrow and Radiant Arrow. They are both charge attacks that do lots of damage. The difference between them is that the Penetrating Arrow will hit several targets, but the Radiant Arrow only does damage to one target. The Radiant Arrow is more MP efficient when it comes to one target, but the insane amounts of damage the Penetrating Arrow can do sometimes makes it worth it. Just be aware that these abilities burn through your mana points. To regain MP, you can either use the normal attacks, because in TERA you regain MP by hitting the enemy with an attack. You can also use the two abilities Final Salvo and Rapid Fire. Final Salvo causes you to shoot 5 arrows in rapid succession, damaging the enemy and regaining MP for every hit. This ability can only be used after Penetrating Arrow or Radiant Arrow though. Rapid Fire can be used whenever you want, as long as it is off cooldown. And the cooldown isn't long, but you just can't spam the ability. Rapid Fire causes you to shoot 7 arrows in rapid succession, causing more damage than Final Salvo, but it costs more MP. Using Arrow Volley allows you to tag up to 5 enemies, and attacking them all at the same time by pressing space. To tag an enemy, you simply hover the crosshair over them, simple as that. The Slow Trap ability will put down a trap on the ground. When an enemy walks over it, he will be slowed for 6 seconds. The Poison Arrow ability will shoot a poisonous arrow at the enemy, causing a damage over time effect. Retaliate, Close Quarters and Breakaway Bolt are all abilities that are useful if you happen to be knocked down by an angry mob. Retaliate puts you back up on your feet while you damage anyone close by. Close Quarter damages and stuns everyone nearby, and Breakaway Bolt is you firing an explosive arrow at the ground, damaging anyone close, and launches you up into the air and hopefully away from the enemy. For fighting one mob, I have a pretty awesome combination, doing lots of damage in a short period of time. It starts off by going close to the enemy, using Close Quarters twice, then Breakaway Bolt. Then I transition into Radiant Arrow and Penetrating Arrow, followed by Final Salvo and Rapid Fire. If you're going against a stronger mob, you will find that this uses almost all of your MP. So for longer fights you should cut down the use of Penetrating Arrow and Close Quarters, and remember your Poison Arrow. It can help you a lot in longer fights. For fighting against groups of mobs, I start with Arrow Volley, followed by Penetrating Arrow. Try to move around to get the perfect shot, hitting as many mobs as possible. The rest of the fight is pretty much the same as one mob. Poison Arrow might not be as effective though, as it only hits one mob. Close Quarters on the other hand damages everyone within reach. In addition, it stuns them. You have to get close to use it though, so be careful. Kiting and dodging is pretty straightforward. When the enemy is about to attack you, you simply walk out of the way. If that isn't quick enough, you can use Breakaway Bolt or just jump out of the way. To make your life easier, you should put down slow traps and try to trick him into it. Other than that, keep up the damage and watch where you put your feet. There are few things that are worse than pulling more enemies when you're trying to avoid one. When you try to control your MP usage, it can be smart to keep a few things in mind. Penetrating arrow uses a lot of MP. Kiting and dodging doesn't use that much MP in itself, but since you're dodging instead of hitting the enemy, you're not gaining any either. To refill your MP in an efficient and stable way, try to use final salvo and rapid fire as much as possible. If they are unavailable, use the normal attack. In an emergency, don't be afraid to drink a mana potion. The cooldown is at 3 minutes, but with good control, that isn't so long. You can also have Glyphs in TERA. One of the ones I have are giving me 20% more MP on hit, thus making it easier to sustain in long fights. The other Glyphs I have are basically damage Glyphs, boosting the penetrating arrow and general damage. Now you should be able to play the archer quite effectively, but keep in mind that this is footage from the TERA Beta, and things can change before launch. All the fights against larger mobs and boss fights included in this video will be uploaded to my channel. I will also upload a playthrough of the Bastion of Locke, just to show you what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate feedback, and if you liked what you saw and want more, the subscribe button is right there for you, waiting to be clicked. I am Cookie, signing out.